Patient 0 is the first person to be infected by substance 128, also known as the infection. While we don't know exactly who patient 0 is, there are some suspicions on who patient 0 is. First off, I'd like to debunk a popular theory I've seen in the comments, that patient 0 is Penny. There's one piece of evidence that disproves this theory. A note from Chapter 10, Book 2, mentions patient 0 and the Piggy family as separate characters.
Patient 0 could not be found. However, we've tracked down one of the first subjects who had been administered the potion. We must act fast, while the sample is still pure.
Another important point is that patient 0 had to be infected by substance 128, not any other form of cure, as there have been mentions of another cure in the books, such as substance 127. Also, a note from Metro confirms that patient 0 was infected by substance 128. One character many of us believe to be patient 0 is Mrs. P, Mr. P's wife, who fell ill with a terrible disease known as lineoma. To clarify, lineoma is not the infection. Mrs. P is the main reason substance 128 was created in the first place, as Mr. P was trying to develop a cure for his beloved wife. What we know about Mrs. P is that she was the fourth person to be infected by the cure Mr. P created after he tested it on the Piggy family. Another character people speculate as being patient 0 is Zigy, and I can see why this theory gained traction. People started believing Zigy was patient 0 after a Minimoon video where Minitoon mentioned something related to Zigy.
Reason for why its flesh kind of looks like that, but that hasn't been explained yet. It'll be explained in the future.
In the future, we will learn more about why Zompigy's flesh appears the way it does. My personal theory is that Zigy was resurrected by the Insolent One or by Mr. Stitchy after his return to this realm, which I plan to cover in another video. Also, I want to debunk another theory I've seen in the comments. Some believe Zigy is Mother after she fell into acid, but honestly, this theory doesn't hold up. It's a bit far-fetched. If Mother had fallen into acid, her body would have completely dissolved. Acid eats away at skin and bone, leaving nothing behind. Now, onto my own theory, I believe Mrs. P is patient 0. Yes, she's the fourth person to be infected by substance 128, but hear me out. From the perspective of Mr. P's fellow scientists and doctors, they would likely classify her as patient 0 because she was the first documented case where the infection fully took effect on someone. Why would they know that? Because Mr. P himself let go of his wife. He couldn't bring himself to stop her. As a result, Mrs. P may have attacked several doctors, infecting them while being seen by other scientists who witnessed her red eyes and savage behavior. Now, why don't I believe Zigy is patient 0? Quite simply, it doesn't make sense. Zigy looks like she's been dead for several months, probably before the 1-month gap in the timeline. After some research, a corpse like Zigy, showing half of her skull, would take several months to decay to that point if she were buried, rather than exposed to the elements. Another thing to consider is that Zigy is holding a skeleton arm that clearly isn't from the school. The color of the arm is different, and the one from the school is most likely made of plastic. It's clear that Zigy isn't patient 0. She's been dead for several months and was recently brought back to life. Why is she in the metro? I'm not entirely sure, but it's possible she was buried inside one of the crates, since she spawns near them. Or perhaps the insolent overseer placed her there. But remember, this is just a theory, a Piggy theory. Thanks for watching.